Hello and welcome to the video. This is an overview and review of this radio from Jumper. Now this is the new T16. Now I've looked at pretty much every radio that Jumper has released. The first one was the T8SG back in November 17, a little kind of subcompact radio that used the deviation software, had a little 4-in-1 multi-protocol module in it. That was followed in June 18 by the T8SG Plus. That had some extra features, and lots of people commented how these radios look like the nanny out of the Jetsons. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, just have a look for the Jetsons cartoon on YouTube. Then that was followed by the Jumper T12 in September 18. I looked at that one. That was the first Jumper radio to be running a version of OpenTX called Jumper TX, and now we have the T16 that we're looking at here. Now, the common things with the Jumper TX radios is they've always been very cost effective. You've got quite a lot for your money, and they've always been multi-protocol, and this one is no different. But this feels like a proper grown-up radio, and it definitely feels like Jumper's starting to get its shoulders out and starting to jostle with the big boys like FR Sky and others in producing a radio that has a lot of very modern features. So let me very quickly give you a whistle-stop tour of all of the switches and controls on this thing. It is bristling with them, so it's kind of got the same amount of controls as you find on something like a Taranis or an X10 from FR Sky, but it's got an extra control on it as well, which if you are a vector pilot or you like iNav or Pixhawk or any of those flight controllers that you have multiple modes in, it's a fab addition. So on the shoulders, we have a 2-position switch at the back, then we have 3-position switches everywhere else. So SA, B, C and D are all 3-position switches. SG in the other shoulder, right shoulder, is a 3-position switch as well. And SH is a momentary switch. Now in addition to that, then there are 2 rotating controls and 2 sliders on the shoulders, and the position of those is shown on the front screen. All of those controls have a center detent. It's a little soft in my opinion, but you can absolutely feel when you're flying when you're in the middle position. And that's really good if you're using it for a pan or tilt servo setup. But there are a couple of extra controls on here that you won't find on other radios, particularly in this price. The first is that underneath where it says Jumper and you have those 2 rotary controls, there is buttons labelled 1 to 6, and those little buttons light up. And those are acting as a 6-position switch. So by pressing each of those, it changes the value of the channel. Now that is great. So for those of us that like to fly Pixhawk, for those of us that like to fly iNav, you don't have to worry about having multiple switches or trying to get 6 flight modes using a combination of different switches. You can actually put them all on those buttons. The other really cute thing is you'll notice there's an extra set of trims on this. So not only do we have the trims that are there for the elevator, throttle, rudder and aileron, there is also an extra couple. And those come in handy for when you're doing some advanced setup. Now I've done a couple of videos recently where I've looked at how you can decouple the trims or use other controls as trims and vice versa on other radios running OpenTX and variants. And the fact that you have 2 additional trims here so you can keep the standard ones and maybe use those for something else is a really nice idea, and shows that this is a radio that isn't just designed for multi-rotors. It's also going to be fantastic for slope soaring and for fixed wings of all different types too. The gimbals are pretty standard. They're like the gimbals that you've got on all of the radios from Jumper so far. Nothing particularly to write home about. They seem to work fine, and they're nice and smooth. They are height adjustable, and with being towards the edge of the radio, they're fine for thumbers and pinchers as well. But these aren't Hall effect, so maybe we'll see a T16 Plus with Hall effect gimbals in the future, but they're perfectly serviceable. I did end up taking the back off my radio to change the tension of the throttle a little bit. It was a little bit loose for me. And while I'm talking about changing the tension, let me also show you what it looks like inside. I've taken the back off mine to have a look around. It does look very modern inside compared to the inside of things like the Taranis radio that's all cabled wires. All of this is done with little click connections and little ribbon cables. And having had a good look around, the construction is very solid. And this definitely feels like a very modern interior of a radio. Now, I know most of you are never going to see the inside of this, but with my training as an electronics engineer, I like to see this kind of thought going in here. You can see the processor and all the different boards, and all the boards are separate. So if something did go wrong, you can get a spare and swap it out without too much hassle. Ergonomically, it is very comfortable. There are rubber grips on the sides and on the back too. It's powered either from a 2S LiPo battery, or you have a little adapter here for 18650 cells, and then there's a JR bay above that, standard JR bay, which will fit in the multi-protocol adapter. Holding the power button will start the radio up, and then we're into Jumper TX. Now, Jumper TX is a version of OpenTX that isn't supported by OpenTX, but we'll come back to that in a little while. But for those of you that watched my FrSky X10S video a while ago, this interface will look very similar. And pressing and holding the system button will take you into the radio setups, and you can see the version of software that's actually running on this thing. And then pressing and holding the model button will let you tab through each of the tabs, and it is identical to other OpenTX radios in the layout and feature set. So if you know OpenTX, you'll very quickly, once you've learned how all the buttons work, figure out how to set up your models. Sadly, Jumper TX has inherited all of the flaws of OpenTX on these radios with these beautiful big screens. Pressing and holding the button to create a new model only gives you 2 wizards. It doesn't give you all the wizards because OpenTX still haven't got round to making sure that all that stuff is supported on the high-end radios. This is a very usable radio. The amount of switches and controls mean that it is very, very easy to use and set up. So I've been using this for a couple of weeks now, and I'm pretty impressed. I like the design. The design of radios like this is very much like Marmite or Vegemite. You either love it or hate it, and I quite like this. Initially it looked a little bit weird and wacky, but then I'm used to using other radios. Once I got used to this big colour screen, it started to become very intuitive. The kind of rolling control on the right hand side is very similar to other radios that I've used in the past. And once I got that muscle memory for navigating my way around all the buttons, setup and control have been very quick indeed. I'm a big fan of the fact that they've really thought about it and added the controls onto the radio that pilots are going to need, particularly those 6 buttons. Now, that 6-button control at the top maybe isn't going to be for everybody, but for people like me, that's the kind of control that I've been crying out for on a less expensive radio for a very long time. It means that my next iNav setup, if I use this radio, is going to be a piece of cake to do. I won't have to do all of the mixing to try and get all the flight modes on the couple of switches that I normally do. And because this radio has made intelligent choices about the speed of the inverter inside, it'll also run the JR Bay at full 150 MHz speed, which is what CRSF needs for things like Crossfire. So if you're a Crossfire pilot and you're looking for a radio that isn't going to have to be run at 1/3 of the speed at the radio end, then this is something to consider. And the quality and build internally is absolutely lovely. It is a very modern radio inside. The modularity, the way it's put together and the way everything's cabled is very good, and also means that if something does go wrong, it's a pretty quick job to swap something out. Now, I mentioned at Christmas that I was hoping that this year we would see some real competition for FrSky's dominance in the market, and this radio is the first one that I've seen that absolutely fits that bill. If you don't want to buy an FrSky or FreeSky product, but you want the flexibility and the programmability, then this is something that you should be looking at. But it isn't supported in the companion app because of the weird relationships that both FrSky and OpenTX have in the industry. It does mean that Jumper TX isn't supported with all the OpenTX pieces too. So if you don't care about using companion, then you will be happy about that. If using companion, which is something that I do a lot for complicated builds, is something that you use on a daily basis, then unfortunately that isn't something that radio will support. Now, I've had feedback from a couple of people that they're sad that the multi-protocol module isn't internal. It would have been nice to have that internal so the JR Bay was available for whatever you wanted to use. I'm not particularly bothered about that, to be honest. You're either going to be using it with either or, and it's no big job to kind of keep that in the bag when you go to the fields as well. It does support pretty much everything, so even your little indoor flyers right the way up to your FrSky receivers, Futaba, Spectrum, whatever it is, should work with this radio. Little bit sad that the gimbals aren't Hall effect on such a nice radio. They are perfectly serviceable and they work fine, but maybe, like I said, we'll have a T16 Plus in the future that will address that. And the last thing to be aware of is there isn't a case supplied with it. With the previous jumper models, they came with a little zip case, which was beautiful to just take to the field. And I know lots of pilots really like them for little small transportable portable models. This one doesn't come with a case, so you are going to have to source that separately. But if you were looking for a radio that had a beautiful big colour screen and you weren't bothered about all the companion computer-based stuff to do all the settings and model configuration, then this is worth a look. It does feel like Jumper is really moving up here. I'm excited to see what Jumper is going to do next. If you have any particular things that you would like to see with this T16 radio, then please leave a comment down below. Having the interface on here also means that anything that I show you on this would also work for any radio that has a similar interface. So if you're struggling to do something in this particular interface, so for example, adding things like timers onto the main screen can be a bit of a pain in the butt. But if you have anything that you've been struggling with this kind of interface with OpenTX or Jumper TX, then let me know underneath and I'll use the T16 to do a video. Thanks for watching the video and watching right to the very end. You can find me in all the usual places on social media, and if you like the video and like what I'm doing here, then hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification icon too. If you really like what I'm doing, you can go the extra mile and become one of my Patreons for access to me directly for support and also giveaways and regular updates too. If you're looking for particular content, then check out the playlist. I organise all of my videos into playlists, so if you're looking for a particular topic, you can find everything here. If it's called Introduction To, it's designed to start very simply and build on that simple introduction to teach you all about it. If it's called For Beginners, then that is really aimed at people who are brand new to that part of the hobby. You can also search on YouTube for anything that you're interested in using the search function at the top. So iNav Painless 360 will find all of my videos and even the playlists around iNav. So thanks again for watching and happy flying.